and welcome to the Shy Sheep. This week's video is gonna be one that I'm kind of nervous about because it is gonna be figures that I really strongly dislike. And quite a few of them are actually pretty popular figures and characters, so I'm a little bit worried. Before I start, I just wanted to say that all this list of figures is based on my personal preferences. So if you like any of these figures or you own them, I'm not trying to say that you have a terrible figure or that you have terrible taste in figures. They're probably actually really good figures, and if you like the characters as well, I'm sure that they are really great figures as well. So I'm not trying to like rain on your figures and figure taste. These are just my personal preferences, and honestly I think that I will probably like some figures or really like some characters that you guys probably hate. So I just wanted to put that disclaimer out there. Please don't be mad at me, and just take it with a grain of salt. This video is meant to be all in good fun and not meant to hurt anyone. So yeah. Anyway, so I do actually dislike quite a few figures, but I thought I would take my top 10, and I guess for some characters I added like an extra figure, but it's the top 10, and it's in no particular order. It's not like the first one is the least disliked and the last one is the most. It's just a random list that I haven't organized at all. It's just kind of as they came to mind. So I have my list here with me, so if you see me looking down, it's probably because I'm looking at my phone. Number one, I actually hardly like any of the figures from this character, and I feel like she's very popular. So I really dislike Super Sonico. The most disliked one that I've seen for me is the one that just got announced this year recently. Oh, I really hate that figure. I'm so sorry, I really do. First of all, her tan is just it's so cringe for me. I don't like how tan she is. It just looks way too unnatural. And the tan lines just look just cringe. Also, she is just walking, okay? She is walking with a plate of food. Her boobs should not be like, I don't know, almost like separating from her body from a walk. You know, I know that she has some large assets, but they should only be moving like that as she's running, okay? And she's clearly walking. So I just find the figure to be really unnatural in that sense and really cringe. I don't like her expression in that figure. It just irritates me every time I see that figure. So I'm really sorry if you do like that figure. Again, I'm not trying to be mean, it's just for me personally. And clearly I don't like Super Sonico, so you know, it's probably gonna be difficult to make me like one of her figures in any case. Okay, so the next one is the Shiro Bunny from No Game No Life, and in the same vein is the Shiro figure of her, sorry, that was a door, is the Shiro figure of her lifting up her dress. And I love Shiro. I have a Shiro figure pre-ordered, and honestly, those two figures that I just mentioned, they just make me really uncomfortable. Shiro is like an 11 or 12-year-old girl, and I really feel uncomfortable looking at overly sexualized figures of her. So obviously I don't feel comfortable owning those. Of course, if you like them and you think that they're really good figures, then by all means, you should have them. I'm not trying to like say that it's bad to own them, but I really don't like them. I mean, Shiro is so small and tiny. I kind of like just want to give her head pats and cover her in a blanket. So those figures where she is like super sexualized and like bending over in her bunny suit like Jabril and Stephanie, it just just doesn't like sit well in my heart, you know, like it just makes me like sort of when I look at the figure. The next one I feel like is also kind of a big one, but we have established that I really like Kotobukiya. Sorry, I was gonna say Lelouch. I was like, that's not the name of the anime. Anyway, so yeah, I really like Kotobukiya, and I really like C2 as a character. I think she's amazing, and I honestly wish that she had more figures because, number one, a lot of her figures' faces are really, I don't know, they kind of just don't look like C2. The face is like almost too like squashed or too far apart, and it just doesn't look like C2 to me, so I wish C2 had some better figures. And number two, the figure that I dislike, is C2's 1/4 bunny. I really don't like that figure, I really don't. The main reason is most C2 figures are basically just around C2's butt. Like, she has an amazing personality and like, you know, role in the anime, and they took that and basically it was like C2 butt. And that's all she gets for figures. And it kind of upsets me because they could do so much more than just have her lying on her stomach with her ass in the air, you know? So it really annoys me. So because of that, even though I think this the face of the C2 bunny is really good and her sculpt is amazing, her hair looks really good. In fact, her hair is a little too green for my liking, but anyway. I think they did a really good job with the bunny, but it's just, I've seen so many C2 figures now where she's bending down or she's on the floor with her butt in the air, and it's like that's all they know how to do with C2. I don't know, I feel like C2 is more than just an ass, you know? She has a lot more going for her. And I guess in the same vein as Kotobukiya is the Kallen Bunny. I don't like the Kallen Bunny. In fact, I don't like one of the figures of Kallen. I think it's in her suit. It's not the most recent one that came out. That one's actually pretty good. There's another one I think that I'm talking about, but mainly the bunny. I don't know, if you've seen Kotobukiya, you know Kallen has a really fiery personality, and when you saw her in her bunny suit, she wasn't shy or like, oh, look at me in a bunny suit, you know, in that one episode where she was in the pink bunny suit. So I don't like the bunny because I don't think it fits Kallen's personality at all. I like that it's a pink bunny suit because it comes directly from the anime. I think that's amazing that they did that. But it's just the pose again, like the poses and the face and the pose are so un-Kallen, like I just can't, I just feel like they kind of did her dirty, you know, like it just doesn't look like Kallen would pose like that. She would be like kind of feisty, you know. I don't like, it almost makes me cringe looking at it because of how not Kallen it is. I just, Okay, the next one I mentioned actually in my last video. It is the Princess Euphemia or Princess Euphy figure that I think it's like the only one that I found. But I actually kind of like her face sculpt. It's not a bad face sculpt at all. I don't like the dress though. I think Princess Euphy's dress is actually a really beautiful dress from the anime, and I actually really love her in that dress. So I'm kind of upset that the dress kind of looks like a block. And she kind of looks too static in it, you know, like, I don't know, if they gave it like some motion because like she's holding out her hand, you know, that would have looked really cool. And I don't know, just like maybe sculpted it a bit better, shaded it a bit better. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that figure because of the dress, basically. It kind of makes her look, the figure looks plastic. And that sounds weird because they are PVC, you know. But most figures, or all the figures I've gotten so far, they're made out of PVC, but they just don't look like they are, you know. They actually look like that's the material flowing, and they look real. They look amazing. They look like they've stepped out of the anime and they aren't made out of plastic. And the Princess Euphy one looks like a block of plastic. Okay, the next one. Oh, this is gonna be a bit of a controversial one, I think. But I really dislike the 02 wedding dress version that is coming out soon. First of all, I actually don't really like her face in that figure. Her smile looks kind of weird. I don't know. You know, I'm not a fan. I haven't seen the anime, and I actually think that I would probably like 02 actually as a character, so it's not because I don't like her character. I just don't like the wedding dress. I actually think it's a pretty cool, like, flowy one. It's very dynamic and it looks quite cool, but it's so white. It's so white and nothing is interesting in there. It's just a white dress and her running in it. Like, I understand 02 is such a popular character, but oh my god, it's such a boring figure to me. It's so boring. That's why I don't like it. And I know that seems weird because it's like one of the most exciting wedding dress figures, but wedding dress figures are really boring. But this one, I don't know, it's just so white. Everything is white. There's not one different shade of white or one different shade of anything in her dress. White upon white upon white. And then her veil is white, her shoes are white, the base is white, everything. It's so boring. Ugh, I really don't like that figure. Next one. I mentioned this in a couple videos, but I love Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. However, a lot of their figures I do not like at all. So yeah, I don't like the Ed pop-up parade, but I wanted to get the Ed pop-up parade until I saw his face, which doesn't look like Ed at all to me. It just looks like a version of Ed that isn't really Ed, like it's someone pretending to be Ed. And that would irritate me so much, and it really irritates me when figures' faces are not accurate like that and they look weird. It can make a figure that looks amazing. It makes me almost like, it makes me strongly dislike the figure, basically. That's why he's on this list. I also think his pose is like so boring as well. Like, Ed is such a cool character and he's so like feisty and angry and short. But he, you know, it just doesn't represent Ed at all. Like, he's just standing there. So yeah, don't like that one. And in the same vein, which is clearly the phrase of the day, I don't like, I think there's a Kotobukiya one of him. I don't like that one. His face is awful. I actually think his pose is pretty cool though. I do like that, and I'm pretty sure he has like a red cape around him. I think that looks really cool. His face is really awful, and I really don't like it, and I really don't want to be irritated with the face of a figure that I own. I really love Food Wars, and Erina Nakiri is one of the characters from Food Wars, and it's of her basically in her school uniform but like half undressing. Again, it's kind of like the same thing as Shiro, even though Erina looks less childlike than Shiro. She's actually still a school girl and underage at that. And it's of her undressing in her school uniform, and again, it's just a figure that makes me cringe, and I just can't do that to Erina. I also know that according to Erina's character, we all know that Erina would feel extremely uncomfortable doing that and like, you know, would not want to. So it kind of makes me feel like I'm going against the whole character's personality, and then I feel cringe again just looking at it. So, you know, yeah, I really don't feel comfortable owning those kinds of, well, not those kinds of figures, because there's actually a lot of SkyTube figures that I really like and really would like to own. So it's not like I have anything against sexy figures. I actually really like them, and I think that they're really beautiful, and I would like to own some. But it's kind of just the more underage ones that make me uncomfortable, especially if it doesn't go with the character's personality, of course. Anyway, the next one is, I'm pretty sure this one's disliked by most people, but it is that weird Gojo figure with like the orange splash on the side. His face is so freaky. Oh my god. I can't get over how insane he looks, and not in a good way. Not in the good way, yeah, okay. Because sometimes Gojo can look insane in a very good way. He does not look good, yeah. okay? He doesn't look like Gojo at all. It kind of looks like he's possessed. And I wish that they had done Gojo justice, but they didn't. But it's okay, because I'm pretty sure the F-Next one and the E-Stream figure are gonna do Gojo justice. Not that I ordered both of them, I only ordered one, so yeah. I really don't like that Gojo figure just because he's too insane. It's like they took his personality and like ramped it up along with his face. I don't like the blue Crystal Dress Rem version. I really don't like that one. Again, it's kind of similar to 02. Like the sculpt of that is amazing. Again, the dress of the Crystal Dress Rem looks amazing. That sculpt is insane, okay? But it's so blue. It's so blue and it's all the same blue and it's so boring. It's so boring and bland. And I feel like for such an elaborate figure, you should have done so much more. In terms of just making the figure itself with the colors pop. Because I think the Emilia one looks really good, and I actually think I like the pink one again more. The pink ones have a lot more depth to them, and there's like purple mixed in as well with them. So, and their faces are also like a lot more angry. So they look a lot more feisty, you know. The Rem blue one is boring though. It is so boring and her face is annoying and she just looks like I kind of just want to it makes me angry looking at it, you know. I don't know if that's like a thing, but yeah, I don't like that figure because it's just all so much blue. It's like overwhelmingly blue that you almost forget that Rem is even there. And to even look at her, you know, because you're so caught up in the blue of the dress and it's all just the same blue and like Rem doesn't actually even pop out then. She just looks so, I'm really sorry if some of these upset you, but again, these are my preferences and what I like. So if you like any of the figures, those are things that you like and those are your preferences and you should be proud of them. And you shouldn't let me upset you with my opinions because they're just my opinions. They're not like the law or anything, you know. I also hope that you enjoyed this video and I would really like to know about the figures that you strongly dislike. And if you'd like to know some of my favorite figures, and that is not just ones I own or characters I know, just figures that I think are beautiful. I mean, did I say characters or figures? I meant figures. Yeah. Anyway. I hope that you enjoyed the video and I hope that it made you smile and brightened up your day a little bit. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you did happen to come across this video, I really appreciate it. And I hope to see you next time if you feel like sticking around. But it's okay if you don't want to too, I understand. And yeah, I hope you guys have a lovely day and I'll see you next time. Bye guys!